Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and we're back in Shadowlands at the Venthyr Covenant to continue the Covenant Campaign. We'll be beginning Chapter 2 this time, and you can see our location in Sinful, the Order Hall.
Without suffering.
A conduit for change. While the powers from your bond are substantial, you may also strengthen the bond further through the use of conduits. Conduits act to channel the energy of your soulbind into your form more directly, increasing your potential in many ways. Use the ones I have given you as a test of this power, but fear not, you will find others in your travels. Add the conduits to the Forge of Bonds, then apply one to a slot on Nadja the Mistblade. Well, we actually already did that at the end of the last episode, so I hope that credits. It did, yay! Oh, that's good. Your soulbind will strengthen over time. But for now, your training is complete. Our true purpose. We are grateful for this partnership, Moorwalker. With your help, Venthyr will lead us into a new era, one that will see Revendreth reclaim its true purpose. Return to him now so that the real work can begin. Return to Prince Venthyr and you will receive renown. So we'll get a level of renown from the Emblem of Renown.
Every choice matters.
So the Accuser sounds quite hopeful about Venthyr returning the Covenant to its proper purposes, doesn't it? So, oh, that's easy. Prince Venthr's right in front of us.
And what can this humble fallen
I hope
prince
you found everything to your liking. Things seem to be turning out very well, thank you, Prince Venthyr. Renown level 3 already, yay! The High Lord calls. A messenger from Oribos has informed us that High Lord Fordragon has requested your presence in Oribos. It seems it pertains to the Maw, and the Master's plans, no doubt. I suggest you heed his summons, Moorwalker. We must leave nothing to chance. Report to High Lord Bolvar Fordragon in Oribos. So the prince is very pleased about us going to help, because it might have something to do with his sire's treachery. So it's time to head over to Bolvar then in Oribos and see what else there is to go. And what else are we getting? A call to Maldraxxus. Ah, right, defend Maldraxxus by completing daily quests, world quests, looting treasures and slaying rare creatures. So that's one of the caches, isn't it? So let's see what else there is before we head to Bolvar. Oh, I missed what he said. We're all connected. That's got to definitely have that bit. So replenishing the reservoir. Right, here's the gig. We need anima. Right, so that's the 1000 anima quest. Could this be the souls then? Soul Warden, yeah. Return lost souls. Rescue souls from the Maw. So those are the anima and soul rescue quests that you get for every covenant once a week. So return 1000 anima, find 5 souls. What's this one? Oh, Halls of Atonement. It's a quest for Halls of Atonement. The Medallion of Pride. Recover the Medallion of Pride from Lord Chamberlain within the Halls of Atonement. So that's the dungeon quest being given out in Sinful itself. Our attempts at a parley were met with scepticism at best. Acquiring the medallions may take more work than originally intended. However, not all hope is lost. There you go. So that's the quest to lead us into the dungeon, which as you can see is at the opposite end of the zone. So I think we need to go to Oribos. I don't think there's any more quests. Is there? Oh, there is. Hang on, what's that? That looks like it might be another calling, perhaps.
Always be ready
Oh,
for
training
battle.
our forces. Yes, complete 3 world quests in Revendreth. So that's another one of the callings. So we're still being introduced to some of the things that we do at endgame, the regular weekly things. So you get callings to basically go do world quests or dungeons or whichever thing you would prefer to do to fill the bar. Then we also collect 1000 anima, which you could naturally do just by completing all the callings, and then go to the Maw to collect your 5 souls. So these are all the things you do weekly and daily at endgame out in the world itself. So we've now been introduced to all of those mechanics, and now we need to go to see Bolvar so that we get introduced to some more of the Morton Torghast mechanics. So I think the rest of Chapter 2, from what we saw when we did the Kyrian one, is all going to be about opening up Torghast and opening up the Maori's quests in the Moor, and starting us onto Bolvar's campaign quest chain for rescuing our friends from Torghast itself. So let's go speak to Bolvar.
We all have
I have dire news, Enheduanna. Into Torghast. The bond to your covenant is growing stronger. Good. The power lies within you to venture into Torghast and rescue our allies. You saw Bane Bloodhoof while assisting the broker in the moor. Perhaps this Venari knows a way to breach the jailer's tower and find the chieftain. When I peered into Torghast once before, you stood at my side. I believe that connection will allow me to see through your eyes as you navigate its torments. Seek out Venari and request her aid, Moorwalker. Find a way into Torghast, Tower of the Damned, and you will be rewarded with access to the Torghast Tower. So it's time for us to jump back into the moor. I really don't like the moor, it's just too dark. And I mean that literally, it's dark. I know some of the people that I play with have serious trouble actually seeing things in the moor because it's so dark. They literally struggle to see where they're going, which kind of makes it very difficult to do gameplay. The moor in Torghast have become a very divisive element for most people. It's one of those places you either absolutely love it or you absolutely hate it. And it's created a lot of arguments, and it's the big divisive feature of this particular expansion. So we'll have to see where it goes from here with this, to be honest. So let's see what Venari's got to say, shall we? How do I enter Torghast, please, Venari?
Torghast, once I told you that your friends were being held inside, I knew it was only a matter of time before you came to me for aid. Because I was able to anticipate your request, it just so happens I have already acquired a portal device that leads into the tower.
That's
I will
convenient.
dispense with the usual warnings and disclaimers, as your unique combination of courage and foolhardiness would render them moot.
Ah,
Do
foolhardiness.
not ask how it was obtained. Simply consider it a gesture of goodwill that you are now obligated to repay.
She's really big into
I
this
look
obligation.
forward to our future transactions, Moorwalker.
So she now thinks she's also like,
my
oh
new
yes, I've got one
partner.
up on you,
Let us see
Naomi,
how
I
long
own you,
you
yaha. She hasn't really paid much attention to what we like, has she? Well, Moorwalker, what are you waiting for? Well, I was waiting for you to tell me how to get into Torghast, actually, Venari. Thanks. The search for Bane. I dare not step inside that accursed tower myself, of course. While I cannot tell you exactly where your comrade is being held, I offer a gift to assist you. Use it inside Torghast. It should take you somewhere near your missing ally. Bane Bloodhoof was his name, yes? Either that, or you'll end up trapped within the tower's ever-shifting halls for all eternity. But those are the risks one must take, I suppose. Best of luck. Enter Torghast and search for Bane. So she's very blasé when it's someone else's protection, but she definitely wants to make sure she's safe, and she'll use us for as much as she possibly can. And we get a neck piece for completing this quest for her.
Do not draw the jailer's eye.
Well, it's nice of you to say do not draw the jailer's eye, but you've already told us many times that he is definitely looking at us, and I can see this great big eye in the middle at the top of my screen, so he's definitely looking for me, Renari. So we definitely know that she's using us, and at the moment we're quite happy to go along with it because she's the only person that's actually offering to help us here, so we don't really have much choice, but we are very suspicious of her and where it's going to go. So it would prove really amazing if she turns out to actually be trying to help us and trying to do things for the best. That would be so cool if someone doesn't double cross us for a time, but I suspect she's got some ulterior motives somehow. In fact, probably the whole of her race do. Use the attuned shard at the Wayfinder. So the attunement shard took us into a 6th floor run of Torghast in order to try and find Bane Bloodtooth, and we can see him there, look, chained up against a wall. And this is the final boss of floor 6, so I thought I'd cut back into the recording at this point for you. So that we can get the dialogue off Bane at the end. So there you go, there's the Warden is down.
Dreaming of home,
Oh, Bane.
only to awaken in this place of torment.
Oh, dreaming of home. As you stare at the object you've found, you sense it may lead you to another part of this wretched tower. Perhaps Venthyr may know much more of its purpose. Take the object to Venthyr. Hey, Bane, let's get you out of here.
Champion, I saw you escape before we were recaptured. Do you have the means to take us out of the maw?
I do, Bane. Let's go test it out. It's supposed to work, but we need to definitely test it by taking you out, my friend. Come on, let's go. This way is out of this tower, and then let's take you to Venthyr, and then let's get you back to Oribos and back to Bolvar. Shall we go meet Bolvar? Oh, that's a cool idea, isn't it? Come on, my friend. Oh, he's been dreaming of home, poor guy. Yes, let's leave Torghast. This way, Bane. How you doing? He doesn't look too bad. He's quite sprightly on his feet. Doesn't look too injured. Mentally stressed and strained. Might need a counsellor. Might not need a medic. Get a nice meal into him. Get him some sleep. And he'll be fine. Oh, poor Bane. Just this way, Bane. We're nearly there now. Just need to talk to my friend for a minute and then I'll take you to Bolvar. Hey, Venthyr, that did work actually. Thanks,
I
mate.
have limitless time. You do not.
This was Carabel, one of the jailer's more powerful guards. Do you know what it does? I do, and I shall tell you, after you see to it that your friend there is in Oribos. Come back to me once he is safe. Yeah, she wants us to do things for her. Can't say I'm surprised, actually.
Walker.
If you can conveniently find someone that you can help and that they can help you, and they are relying on you to help them, then I kind of get why she's doing it, because it's not a great place to be wandering around, is it? If you can find a champion to do it all for you, so you're not in risk yourself, it makes sense.
I hope your presence allows me to travel through it as well. I will stay close. May the Earth Mother guide our path.
Yes, it's supposed to work, Bane. I really, really hope that it does. Let's try it. And we made it. It worked.
What a remarkable place.
It's another floating city. You've been in a floating city before, Dalaran, remember? I'm sure you've been there. So if you just come down this way, we'll find our Bolvar and our friends. Jaina's here too, did you know? Hey Bolvar, look who I found.
We will face whatever comes.
You found him! Finding Bane was no easy feat. But you braved the horrors of that tower and succeeded. Well done! But I fear your work is only just beginning. I was afraid you were going to say that, my friend. I was afraid you would. I knew it. I knew it. I'm going to be spending far too much time in that place, aren't I? So let's see if they've got any dialogue between the guys. Ooh, quest. Explore Torghast. Bane is safe, but our other allies are still prisoners of the jailer. They remain in grave peril. Torghast is a constantly changing place, shifting according to the will of its master. It may be impossible to track them through normal means. Enter its cell blocks and see what information you can find. Seek any clue that might lead us to our missing friends and bring it back to me. Explore Torghast for clues to locate your allies, and you'll get a cloak and 200 soul ash to aid you in getting your first legendary, if you can acquire all the other pieces and afford to buy them, of course, or unless you're a profession person, then you can gather them for yourself.
The Torrens stand proud.
Oh, look, he's just had to sit down. He needs a good rest, poor guy. Bless. So let's see if any of those things are a higher item level. Yeah, so we'll keep our Heart of Azeroth. And we will use the new necklace for the moment. And we'll need to jump back into the moor to speak to a Venari then, don't we? So we'll see what she recommends we do now and what tasks she would like us to do for her, and then we'll see where we go from there. And then Bolvar might have more requests for us after we've seen Venari. I can't remember exactly how the quest chain goes. We might do something for Venari.
Have you come to trade?
She's
or
got a
to
couple of
waste
quests.
your
Oh, and
breath?
this is the item that we were talking about before. This was carried by one of the jailer's more powerful guards. Will you tell me about it now? I believe this is a key of sorts to a chamber within Torghast. Search the antechamber for a device that will accept it. Where it leads after that, I could only speculate.
Return only if you must.
So we need to jump back through the portal and see what this key will unlock. So the quest marker is over here to the right, in this little tiny offshoot of the passage. As you place the key into the device, it shudders for a moment and begins to unlock the Rune Carver's Oubliette.
I recall so little.
Deep within, who are you? Have you come to extract more of my memories? I'm afraid there aren't any useful ones left, save for the memories of my imprisonment. Or perhaps you're here for something else? Speak with the prisoner and learn of his situation. So here we are, we've met the Rune Carver. This is where we will get all of our legendary.
The past is a shattered mirror.
You have the look of a crafter? If you possess the skills, I can impart my knowledge to you of how to create the vessels to hold the rune powers. Yes, I'm a tailor, so Ooh, you're going to give me the recipes. Who are you? Why are you here?
Lie horrors beyond imagining. Something else. A mortal. No. Yes. A mortal walks the maw all the way to my prison to save me. To use me. I was used by him. A jailer. Used to make oh, my memories. Did you take them? No. He took them. Used me for his purpose. And left me here. Bereft of memory for how long? It matters not. Time, after all, is not a construct of death. More Walker. You come. You go. To free me? perhaps. To aid me, yes. To aid me as I aid you. Fate, you see, has bound us. We must stop him.
You could be the key to my freedom. Will you help me, mortal?
Safeguard your soul, mortal.
Reawakening. If you can retrieve my memories, I can help you. At least, I believe I can. Then, perhaps, we can help each other. Find a stolen memory of the rune carver.
Do not lose yourself to despair.
And again, it's another person that we don't know whether to trust or not, because we don't know enough about them, and there's been lots of speculation, but until the story unfolds, we don't know who he is or what he is, and whether we should or shouldn't trust him, just like everybody else. So for the moment, we'll continue with trying to help them because we feel a bit sorry for them, and we'll see where it all leads. So let's go and start searching for his memory. Now let's bring up the map so that we know where we're heading to, and then I'll probably cut to us finding the mob we need to fight. And here we are on the map at the correct location. So let's see how this fight goes, see how hard this person is. We'll use all of our cooldowns, and I'm not playing that efficiently. Can we dispel things, stop things? I've got one to tank the aggro for us, so we're not face tanking as a fire mage. Definitely not a good thing to be face tanking as a fire mage. Oh, with two of this here, I think this guy's going to go down fairly quickly. If I was on my own, this would have been a long and a little bit complicated fight, probably. Right, there we go. Let us see. Do we get up memory? Yeah, there we go. Rune Carver's memory, so we need to take that back to him now. So back into Durgast Tower. Mr. Rune Carver, I have your memory for you. And there's the map so that you can see where it was. I forgot to bring that up earlier when we first came here. Portal to the oubliette, where the Rune Carver is currently chained up. Poor guy.
I will aid you.
Have you found what was taken from me? Well, I found a memory. I don't know if it's the one you were hoping for. It's been an age since I knew anything other than the contours of this hellish prison. Thank you, mortal. Now, to aid you. A damned pact. Yes, I begin to remember. Power. A power with a purpose. That is what I can offer. Runes. Runes are the key. I've recalled some of them, but to infuse them into your equipment, I require my hands. Well, one hand would suffice. Both would be better. Find a way to free me from my bonds, mortal. Then I can offer you the power you seek. After that, freedom? And perhaps the downfall of the one who bound me. Discover a way to free the Rune Carver. Right, so we know who we're going to have to go and ask about this again, because the only ally that we have is Venthyr, so if she doesn't have an idea, then we're in trouble, because she's the only person down here that knows a lot about them all and has any clue about anything. Which of course is why we're relying on her so much, even if we're not sure whether we can trust her.
All mysteries will be revealed.
Breaking a prisoner's chains? I'm not sure I know how that can be done unless... It's dangerous, but I believe there may be a way. A grave chance. First, you'll need a vessel to house anima. and a way to expel it. I happen to possess such a device, which I'll be pleased to give to you. For a price, of course. You recall Zoval's cauldron, I trust. The denizens there were forged in unholy fire. Assuming their anima is of a similar nature, it should be able to melt even the metals of the tower. With my device and their anima, I believe you can achieve your goal, Moorwalker. Purchase an anima suppressiva from Venari and recover 5 molten anima. Okay, we need to go fight in the moor. We're already at the Eye of the Jailer number 3, so I'm hoping that we're not given too many more quests to do here in the moor, otherwise we might be getting ourselves into some trouble.
Return only if you must.
We want the, oh there you go, anima suppressiva 50 Stygian. It's the first thing on her list, so it's easy for us to
Procure
find.
something of value.
And Zoval's cauldron is quite close by, so we don't have to travel too far. So we need to kill fire elementals, okay? And I've cut out the fighting. You can see that in the Bastion playthrough if you want to. Were you able to acquire the anima? I was. It wasn't quite as hard as I was expecting it to be either. Your success continues to impress, Moorwalker, though I admit such fears are becoming less unexpected as I come to know you more. Yeah, we're quite resourceful. The weak link. This ought to be enough to break the bonds that hold your newfound ally. Venari pauses for a moment. Before you do so, I offer a word of warning. No creature imprisoned in that place should be trusted. Tread carefully, mortal. After all, it would be a shame to lose so valuable a business partner. Break the rune carver free. See, she's not so worried about our own particular health. She's worried that she won't have someone to boss around and do things for her anymore, and then she'll have to do it all herself.
Then we can talk.
To ground that I picked up. So we'll just turn that in. That's just one of those quests of things that randomly come up that might be of interest to Venari to turn in your travels. So we'll do a quick repair, sell some junk. Then we need to head back into Torghast to the rune carver to see if this plan for freeing him will work. And although Venari did warn us that anyone locked in here might not be trustworthy, we'd already figured that one out for ourselves. Someone who's been here a very long time didn't accidentally get sent here because the death mechanics weren't working properly. Someone that's been here a very long time has probably been sent here on purpose for some real reason. But we will have to wait for more story to find it all out.
What have you found?
I've found a way, but we only have one shot at it. Let's get you free. See, my friend found this item, but she only had one, so if this doesn't work, we don't have another one, and we're not quite sure how to get another one. So
Yes, bonds weakening.
that's one hand free. And we're definitely not getting the second one. Which is kind of good for us because it means we've shown that we're trying to get him out, but we've not completely freed him because we don't know enough about the story to know whether we ought to free him yet.
A taste of freedom. A place to start.
He looks even more uncomfortable now than he did before, poor guy.
Has brought our paths together.
Freedom of a sort, yes? This is good. You have my thanks. What was it you wanted? Ah, power, yes. Very well then. I don't think we ever actually asked for power. He just assumed that that's what we wanted.
Into the darkness.
And that gives us the achievement, the Forgotten One, which may be the end of Chapter 2 story. And he's got 3 quests. First, Ashes of the Tower to collect 1,250 soul ash to be able to get your first legendary. The final pieces to get the other pieces that you need to make the legendary.
Ashen remnants of souls lost within this tower. Yes, the Ascend, mortal. Acquire what remains.
So he's telling us to ascend the tower to get more of the soul ash. And then the vessels of the thread bring the memory back to the Stitcher Orphines in Oribos. So this is the tailoring quest for obtaining the patterns for the legendary blanks. So we need to take that to Oribos to get the patterns. Cool.
Safeguard your soul, mortal.
Safeguard your soul, mortal. So there, the achievement is the Forgotten One, to help the rune carver free himself from one of his bonds. And now that's opened up Torghast for access to the soul ash. It's also given me the quest to go get the legendary patterns for the tailoring because I'm a tailor.
I remember.
And we've also opened up access to Venari's quest, so we've made a lot of progress in the end game opening of all the things that you can do again. So I think chapter 3 will start the actual story for the Venthyr campaign, while chapters 1 and 2 are pretty similar for all the covenants. So now that we can go into Torghast itself, Bolvar asked us to go into one of the parts of the tower to get more information, so I think that's what we'll do next, and I will come back after the run, probably. Okay, so the run through Torghast took quite a while, and now it's time to turn everything in. Hello, Bolvar. I've got some information for you. What did you find? I found a soul-touched key. Bolvar studies the object intently. I sense a familiar essence. The holder of this may have been involved in the capture of Jaina Proudmoore. I require time for further research. I will contact you once I determine our next course. And we get the cloak and 200 soul ash for completing that quest.
The balance must be restored.
And then every week there'll be a new chapter of that open. I don't think there's been any catch-up mechanic added to this particular quest chain yet. So I've also got a quest to turn into the Tailoring Trainer, and then I think I need to go collect my anima, collect my souls from the Maw, and turn those in at the Covenant Order Hall. So let's go see if we can find the Tailoring Trainer and see if there's any more quests for that, or if we just get the patterns by turning that in. Stitcher Orphines, the Tailoring Trainer, Vessels of the Thread. Orphanes inspects what you brought to him. A memory? Fascinating. With this knowledge I can teach you to craft armours capable of holding immense power. For a price, of course. The Grim Veiled Armour recipes.
Fortune and wealth to you.
Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!